All we are saying,
just bring up the cup. Bring up the cup.
give us Afcon. This is our year.
Egypt out, Senegal gone, Morocco bye-bye. Before then, Algeria, Ghana, Tunisia, and by the way, Nigeria also kicked out Cameroon.
To the left.
Fellow Nigerians, it is time to dream of a fourth Afcon. Welcome to Sports Maestros TV. It's Wale and the fake Wale, and we'll join you in a second. All right, guys, welcome. It's always a pleasure to be in your company. And today we'll be diving deep and looking at the second round fixtures at Afcon 2023. Radic, you are welcome.
Thank you very much. Original Wale. I don't know when I've ever claimed your name.
All right, the talking point of the second round, of course, will be the match between Nigeria and Cameroon.
Definitely.
Did you see that coming?
I think I saw it coming. As a patriot, like I said, like a patriot, I wanted Nigeria to win. And we've always known that we have the type of players to get us far in this tournament.
All right.
But they have just not been, they've not awoken yet.
So you look at the match we played against Cameroon, the 3 matches in the group stages, what changed?
One of the things that changed was the defense.
Okay.
We were compact when we needed to be compact.
Yeah.
We stifled their attack.
We kept our defensive shape.
We kept our defensive shape, and they were not even able to get one shot on target.
For the entire duration of the match, you could see our 2 lines of 4.
Yes.
We kept shape, we were compact, we defended well.
Yes.
And that really helps.
Yes, and for the first time we bullied Cameroon. It has always been the other way.
The other way. And we retained the ball more.
Yes, we did. We controlled the game from start to finish. We gave them the possession when it was necessary in the not so good areas for them.
So is it a fully made team now? Are we where we should be, or what do we still need to change?
Of course, we are supposed to be in the quarterfinals.
Okay.
So I can say we are.
No, at our quality, are we at the level of quality we should be? What do we still need to change?
What needs to change is the number of goals we score in this tournament.
We need to score
yes, more. we saw that they were hungry for goals. They were hungrier in the last match, but we need to be hungrier in the coming matches. They convert every chances you get.
All right, so we need to check our wastefulness.
Yes.
A lot of goal opportunities, and then we fritter them away.
Yes. Another thing is we need to respect every opponent we face. The same way we respected Cote d'Ivoire and Cameroon. Because it seems to be the case with Nigeria when we play against teams that we feel are on the same level with us or close to us. We give them that respect. But any team we feel is lesser than us in terms of levels, we feel we are the giants of Africa again, and we go into the match like it's going to be ours to win.
And one way of doing that is to ensure that we get better balls to Osimhen. You see, I think that in this tournament, we have underutilized Africa's Player of the Year. So better balls to Osimhen because he needs to score.
Yes, we have underutilized him. But we cannot deny the fact that he is still our player of the tournament. Indeed. Anybody, anywhere in Africa will say that. He's still our player.
All right. So, hopefully Osimhen gets a number of goals because there's still 3 matches to play. And the highest goal scorer in this tournament, for me, is yet to arrive.
You know what? The most important thing is to be able to win this Afcon. If we were able to win this outcome and Osimhen remains on 1 goal, it's fine by me. Giroud didn't score a single goal in the World Cup France won. So if Osimhen doesn't score, as long as we keep winning the games, as long as he keeps being the main player in the team, I don't have any problem with it.
So there you have it, Radic's opinion. If you ask me, I want Nigeria to win. I want Osimhen to be the highest goal scorer. I want us to to dominate the entire tournament.
Don't you think that ship has sailed already?
So he could just get a hat trick 2 times.
Okay.
And then he's on 9 or 10 goals.
Hopefully.
Another Afcon record.
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at the second round of fixtures. Like we already know, it's Cameroon 0, Nigeria 2. Angola were 3 goals to the good against Namibia.
Wow. Those 3 players up front were a menace in that match. They went down earlier in the match. They went down to 10 men.
Yes.
10 men. I would say it was naivety on Namibia's part. Because at 0-0, your opponent got a red card. You should be able to control that game.
And then quick one now, you see, because we are playing Angola in the quarterfinals. You spoke about these 3 players. How can Nigeria keep them in check?
I think the best way is, number one, to dominate the midfield. Ensure that passes don't go from the midfield to any of these players.
But we've not done too much of that. In the match against Cameroon, you could see that it helped that we had Calvin Bassey, Frank Oyeka, 2 defensive-minded players in the middle. However, creativity from the middle is still something we have not been able to achieve at this tournament.
I guess that's because of the kind of coach we have. The kind of coach we have is defensive in nature. Yes, I will tell you that, because in the last match, he said all he needed was a goal. With a goal, he knew he was going to win that match. So that tells you the kind of coach you are, very defensive-minded. So I expect in this match for us to play with 2 defensive-minded midfielders, stifle their attack, make sure they don't get to run the way they do run on the field.
These guys are fast. These guys, they understand one another well. You spoke about the 3 of them. I always say there are more than 3. You should add the captain. That also controls things from the middle. And that's what I want to see in Nigeria too. You look at Freddie, the amount of balls he plays, the way he feeds these 3 guys up front, Gilberto, Gelsindala, Mavubulu,
and that's
fantastic team.
That is what we need to cut. We need to cut the feed to those players. We need to cut it. Once we can cut it, those players will just be spectators in the match.
We hope so. Yeah, Guinea waited until the final minutes of the final minutes to get a goal against Equatorial Guinea. Egypt and Congo, my dark horse, they are still in the tournament. It was a 1-1 draw, and then in penalties, Congo got the better of Egypt.
Yes, Congo got the better of Egypt. I guess Egypt were too overconfident in the extra time, thinking if they could push the match into a penalty. They had a goalkeeper that could save penalties. He took them to the final in the last Nations Cup, and it looked like it was going to play out the same way, because that was the same way El Shenawi had an injury in the last edition, and he took over and took them to the final. The same way El Shenawi had an injury in this one, and it was looking like they were going to get to the penalty and get.
Fortunately, likely this chance. All right, Cape Verde won, Mauritania 0, and then Senegal and Ivory Coast another 1-1 draw. But this time, Ivory Coast won in penalties. 5 penalties to 4.
I guess the disappointment of the group stages boosted them into this current form.
It was a shot in the arm, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a shot. It was a shot in the arm. And right now, I see them as a moving train. Any team that needs to stop them must be as strong as they are, or stronger, because right now they are strong-willed.
Yeah, the momentum is now with Cote d'Ivoire.
Exactly.
Thankfully, we don't get to meet them until the final.
Yes, I'm sure many of you will want to think of the obvious: Nigeria versus Cote d'Ivoire in the final.
In the final, okay. Well, let's see. Mali 2, Burkina Faso 1, and then another surprise, maybe to Radic, but not to me. And by the way, Radic used to call himself Octopus Radic. Now, Afcon has really cut Radic down to size. This octopus is nothing more than a periwinkle.
So what are you trying to say?
Morocco lost to South Africa.
You dare see? You dare not even. You dare not even make a sound when it comes to that, because I can take you back to our contents from the beginning of this Afcon, and I've always talked about how together the togetherness in South Africa team has been, and how it's going to be difficult for any team to beat South Africa. So don't tell me that. I take exception to that. Honestly speaking, yes. Because
all right.
I think yes.
Let's move on. Let's go South Africa, a goal, and then a goal towards the end of the match.
This South African team, let me tell you, they are the most complete in this tournament. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
In terms of teamwork, I've always said it from the beginning. I said they have.
But you thought that Morocco. You thought Morocco was going to win. Yeah.
I did not. I didn't even say anything about them.
Okay.
I
was one that said South Africa would win.
I didn't say anything about them.
You like them.
I sat on the fence.
You like them. You know. They are the most complete team in the tournament. But you couldn't put your money. Exactly. Put your money where your mouth is.
Because it was South Africa. Now let me tell you. let me tell you why I said South Africa is the best team right now. Okay. Because check out that first 11. 8 players out of that first 11. Mamelodi Sundowns players to the goalkeeper. Only one player in that first 11 was a foreign-based player. I mean foreign-based outside Africa. Okay, because Tao plays Al-Ali, you know. But every player on that pitch, except for that one person, Sifole, I've forgotten his name, was the only player that wasn't playing in Africa. So they are the most complete team because now aside from that, 10 Mamelodi players in the whole squad. Every other player in that team, except for 2, play in Africa. So these are players that play together week in, week out, and you have most of them in the team. Okay. Tell me, you are talking about the best team in Africa right now. They won the Africa League Cup in 2023. They've won the last 6 South African League. The last 6. Tell me how they won. All right. So we should maybe just strike out South Africa and put Mamelodi Sundowns. Let's just say we play Mamelodi Sundowns. So Morocco 0, Mamelodi Sundowns 2. It's just the same way. It's just the same way it was for Egypt back then. Egypt had most of their players, and that was why they dominated Africa. All right. You know, now we started with 24 teams. We are down to 8. We're already the business end of the Afcon. Sure. And it's just right that as Sports Maestros TV, we review, maybe in brief, the last 8 countries standing. First off, let's start with Cape Verde. Cape Verde, the revelation of the tournament so far. You may beg to differ because you prefer to go with DR Congo. But Cape Verde have been a revelation so far. This is their second quarterfinals. All right. In recent years, in total, also there's a resurgence. There's of football in Cape Verde. Yes. We are seeing it at the Afcon. They've been impeccable so far. And for any team that wants to beat them, you need to come with your A game because they are technically sound. They are. And then after Cape Verde, we look at Angola too. Angola to best outing quarterfinal. Yes. But like we said, this Angola team will be a tough nut to crack for anybody. Apart from the fact that they are good defensively, yes, those guys up front, they can work magic. Yes, they will be looking towards those guys to push them into the final. And they have the quality to go all the way. Yes, they do. Nigeria, we need to be careful. Let's manage spaces. Let's not give this time the opportunity to move, to pass, to run. If we allow them to run at our defense, we will ship goals. Let us give them the utmost respect they deserve. Double the respect that we give to Ivory Coast, double the respect that we give to Cameroon. You know, let's manage spaces like I said. Let's not give them the opportunity to run at us, to run at our defense, to run behind our defense line. Yes. If not, what about you? You'll be picking going out of the net. All right, so moving on, you know, we'll talk about Guinea. Guinea with Guinea were once runner up. Yeah. Yes, and they've got into the quarterfinals 4 times in 2004, 2006, 2008, then 2015. Wow. I believe they will also believe that they can go as far as possible in this tournament. They will believe they can work magic in this tournament. And I believe they have the team to do that. For Guinea, I guess this is where the rubber hits the road. It's been nice having you at Afcon. Yeah. Just lose respectively to Congo DR
and then you would have done your job well.
Just because you're that class. You'll be surprised.
And so moving on, let's look at Mali too.
Yeah, Mali, you know, I said it once that Mali has a knack for getting into the later stages of the Afcon. They've been to the top last 4 in Afcon 6 different times.
Yeah, 6 semi-finals.
Once as a runner-up, twice they finished third.
Yeah.
And 3 times they finished 4th.
Wow.
They lost to Ivory Coast in 2012. They lost to Nigeria twice in 2002 and 2001. So
Mali has got a rich Afcon pedigree.
They've got a rich Afcon pedigree, and they will believe they can also do that.
But you look at the team this time out.
I think the only difficult match they have right now is Ivory Coast. I'm not even. If they play against DR Congo, I believe they will beat DR Congo.
All right. So if they play against DR Congo, they will beat DR Congo. However, they are not playing against DR Congo. They are playing against Ivory Coast.
But they are in the same bracket.
Good luck with that.
That's the biggest obstacle.
All right. You know, South Africa won once.
Yes.
Go to the final on another occasion. That for me is the golden era of South African football.
Golden era because they won in '96.
They
were second runners up in '98.
So they lost to Egypt.
They were 3rd place in 2000.
They were in the World Cups, you know, during this period.
Those were the
fantastic players. Yes. You can mention. We still remember them with relish.
So that's 3 decades now.
3 decades now, but now they're in the quarterfinals. They look good.
They look good.
I'm
waxing lyrical over them right now.
And then Randy just reminded us that we shouldn't talk about South Africa.
Let's talk about
we should just mention Mamelodi Sundowns. So Mamelodi Sundowns, you know, hopefully you get to the.
Obviously, I don't want South Africa to go all the way.
All right.
Because we are in the same bracket. But if I'm to look beyond Nigeria, I would just say South Africa deserves it because of how developed their league has been right now. To me, they are the best league in Africa right now, period.
Above Egypt?
Above Egypt, I believe so.
Wow.
I believe so.
That's a bold statement.
Yes, the development has been really big.
Okay, and then they have the TV to push it to us. So
yes, they do.
We watch South African league.
Well, just like EPL to have pushed theirs worldwide.
And then we don't see much of what happens up there in Egypt. So
well,
I understand where that is coming from.
Too bad for Egypt.
DR Congo have been winners twice.
Yes, they've been winners twice. I think you could call them one of the giants of Africa back then.
Yeah, back in the day.
Back in the days, they were the first.
Sub-Saharan African team,
to get to the World Cup. To play in the World Cup. But since then, it has been. I wouldn't say much of a roller coaster.
But this is a decent squad.
Yes, it's a decent squad. I believe you can even call them they are the golden generation.
You know, you look at from the back to the middle.
Yes.
And Wissa Bakambu up front.
Yes.
No, we've spoken about this thing before now.
Of course.
It's a good thing.
It's a balanced thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's a balanced thing.
It is. So that leaves 2 more nations.
Yes, 2 more nations.
It appears to be our pick now for the final 2 places.
Yes, I just hope it plays out the way we have just arranged them, so that it will be Nigeria versus Ivory Coast. Nigeria comes
tops. All right. So it's Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast won twice. Yes. I remember the first time they won. You know, I was still a kid watching football, and Ben Badi, Abdullah Traore.
Yeah.
Massive team.
Yeah.
That
1992.
Massive team.
Massive. And Yaya Toure and
and then Yaya Toure too. Yeah. But they don't seem to have that star player in this current squad.
Yes, they don't have that star player, but what they have going for them, I will repeat again, was the disappointment of the group stages.
And then the home support will count.
The home support will count right now. So back in the group stages, okay, losing to Nigeria wasn't really a big blow.
But it was Equatorial Guinea. By 4 goals. Wow.
I think even after Equatorial Guinea scored the first goal, they still felt strongly confident that they could get something out of the game, and that was where they killed themselves.
They put the ball in the net,
So I believe right now they've learned from the group stages, and it was going to be very, very difficult for them to drop the ball.
All right. And so that leaves 3 times winners, the far most experienced team,
the most decorated in terms of medals
in the remaining 8 teams and remaining at Afcon.
15 medals
to the most finals of the other 7. You know, it's Nigeria, 3 times winners. How many times runners up?
4 times runners up.
You know, imagine that 7 times in the finals.
8-time bronze medalists.
for experience, give it to Nigeria.
Yes, for experience, give it to Nigeria. And we are proud to say we are one of the biggest footballing nations. But right now, I don't want that pride to get into our heads.
Have we found our mojo?
You said it once that we probably grow into the tournament.
Okay.
I hope so.
That this,
for our sakes.
Against Angola, we are a lot better than we were against Cameroon.
And then
we just keep
that momentum going like that. Keep that momentum going. I want a situation whereby till we get to the final, we don't concede a single goal.
We have already.
No, we are considered in the first goal.
Okay.
In the first game. In the first game, sorry.
Okay.
But since the first game, 3 matches, we've not conceded any.
All right, so
I want us to keep that momentum going. And I don't want us to get to any of the penalties.
So what do you think, guys, about the final 8 teams remaining in the Afcon? We have just done a brief review. Who are your final 2 picks? We said here at Sports Maestros it's going to be Nigeria against Senegal. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Nigeria against Ivory Coast. So what do you think? Leave your comments. And then let us have your comments. And let us also see how you are analyzing the tournament. Just to be correct, a rundown of the fixtures. So it's going to be Nigeria against Angola on Friday, and then DR Congo against Guinea. It's Mali, Ivory Coast, and then Cape Verde, South Africa. We complete the quarterfinal fixtures on Saturday night. Be sure that we'll be back to review the quarterfinals and also to put our head into it as we analyze the semi-final pairings.
Please join me to say hashtag Nigeria wins Afcon 2023. All we are saying.
Just bring up the cup. Bring up the cup.
Give us Afcon. This is our year. Hashtag Nigeria wins Afcon 2023. Say it with me in the comment section. Don't forget to like us. Thank you very much.
All right, and then we'll be calling it a wrap for this edition. Don't forget that each time we call you to join our community, we extend the invitation to you one more time. Be part of the Sports Maestros TV community. Click on the notification bell. Click on the subscribe button. Like this video. Like our previous videos. And let us have the benefit, the blessing, the privilege of your comments.
Sports Maestros TV.
We're signing out. Thank you.